Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Before continuing, please review the legal disclaimer provided in the comments section of this video and make sure to see the video till the end to get a full understanding of how it all works. On this channel, we share practical guidance on visa processes, immigration pathways, investment and citizenship options, and related topics to help you make informed decisions. If you are unsure about your visa options or planning your next step, consider subscribing and enabling notifications so you stay updated with the latest developments. Imagine this. You finally decide to visit the United States, New York City, Los Angeles, Miami, Las Vegas, San Francisco, Hollywood, Disney World, the Grand Canyon, Times Square, the American Dream Trip. You start planning everything: hotels, flights, shopping, sightseeing, photos, experiences. Then suddenly, visa refused. And here is the shocking truth. Most United States tourist visa refusals happen because of avoidable mistakes, not because people were poor, not because they lacked education, not because they came from the wrong country, but because they misunderstood how the United States actually evaluates visitor visa applications. And in this complete masterclass, you are going to learn everything, not from one country's perspective, not from a New Zealand perspective, but from a real global perspective based on the latest U.S. immigration procedures and visitor visa rules in 2026. In this video, we are going to cover who needs a U.S. tourist visa, what the B1 and B2 visas actually mean, how the DS-160 form works, how interviews really work, how to prove strong ties to your home country, how to prepare financial evidence correctly, how to avoid the biggest refusal mistakes, how biometrics and security checks work, what immigration officers really look for, and what smart applicants do differently. Stay until the end because there is one major misunderstanding about bank statements and sponsorships that destroys huge numbers of U.S. tourist visa applications every year. Let's begin. The United States tourist visa is commonly called the B1, B2 visa. And here is something many people misunderstand immediately. The B1 and B2 are usually issued together as one combined visa. B1 generally relates to business-related visitor activities. B2 generally relates to tourism, family visits, medical visits, and recreational travel. Most tourists apply for the combined B1, B2 visa. Now, here is something extremely important. The United States visitor visa system is very different from many other countries. The U.S. system focuses heavily on one central question: will this person leave the United States after their temporary visit? Everything revolves around that question: your finances, your employment, your travel history, your family situation, your answers during the interview. Everything is evaluated through that lens. And this is where many applicants fail because they think the visa process is only about documents. But the U.S. system is heavily based on credibility and immigration intent. Now let's talk about who actually needs a tourist visa. Some nationalities can travel to the United States under the Visa Waiver Program using ISTA authorization. Others must apply for the full B1, B2 visitor visa through a U.S. embassy or consulate. And here is something important in 2026. The United States has tightened scrutiny around interview waivers and visitor visa renewals in many countries. So many applicants who previously avoided interviews may now need in-person interviews again. Never assume older visa rules still apply. Now let's talk about the biggest mindset shift applicants need to understand. The U.S. visitor visa is not approved because you want to travel. Millions want to travel. The visa is approved when the officer believes you are a genuine temporary visitor with strong reasons to return home. That difference changes everything. Now let's move into the actual process. Step 1 is completing the DS-160 form. This form is one of the most important parts of the entire application. And here is the truth. Huge numbers of applicants damage their own cases because of careless DS-160 mistakes. The DS-160 is your official visa application. Everything must be accurate. Your employment history, your salary, your travel history, your social media details, your family information, your travel purpose, your intended stay. Everything matters. And here is something extremely important. Your DS-160 answers must match your interview answers. Inconsistencies create suspicion immediately. Now let's talk about a mistake many applicants make. They rush through the DS-160 in one night. Bad idea. You should review every answer carefully before submission. Even small inconsistencies can become stressful during interviews. Some applicants later discover errors and create updated DS-160 forms before interviews. Accuracy matters enormously. Now let's discuss appointment scheduling. After submitting the DS-160 and paying the visa fee, applicants normally schedule biometric appointments and visa interviews depending on local embassy procedures. And here is where global reality hits hard. In some countries, interview wait times can become extremely long, months, sometimes over a year, especially in high-demand locations. This is why smart applicants plan early, very early. Now let's talk about biometrics. Most applicants provide fingerprints and photographs during the visa process. This biometric data becomes part of U.S. immigration and security systems. Now comes the most important stage, the interview. This is where the U.S. system becomes very different from many other countries. For many applicants, the interview is everything. And here is the biggest misconception people have. They think the visa officer is trying to trap them. Usually, the officer is simply trying to quickly determine whether your story is believable. That is it. And here is something important. Many interviews last only a few minutes, sometimes even less. So your application must already look strong before you walk to the counter. Now let's discuss what visa officers are actually evaluating. First is your purpose of travel. Your trip should sound realistic. Simple tourism, family visit, attending events, short business meetings, vacation, clear and believable. Second is your financial situation. Can you realistically afford your trip? And here's something extremely important. Visa officers are not only checking whether you have money, they are checking whether your financial life makes sense. That difference changes everything. Sudden large deposits before application are massive red flags. Borrowed money temporarily parked in your account often gets noticed. What matters more is consistency, stable income, regular salary deposits, business activity, tax history, savings patterns. These things create credibility. Now let's discuss employment and ties to home country. This is one of the biggest factors in U.S. visitor visa approvals. The officer wants to know, why will this person return home? Strong employment, business ownership, property, family responsibilities, ongoing studies, career stability. All these things can strengthen your case. Everything should point toward one major message. You have strong reasons to leave the United States after your trip. Now let's discuss travel history. Previous international travel can help. If you have traveled legally to countries like the UK, Canada, Schengen Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Singapore, or similar destinations, and complied with immigration rules, it may strengthen your credibility. But here is something important. No travel history does not automatically mean refusal. Strong overall credibility still matters most. Now let's discuss sponsorships. This is one of the most misunderstood areas of U.S. tourist visas. Many people think having a sponsor automatically guarantees approval. Wrong. Even if someone in the U.S. offers to pay for your trip, The visa officer still wants to know whether you personally are a genuine temporary visitor. Strong sponsors cannot automatically fix weak applications. And here is another important truth. Applicants who appear overly dependent on unknown sponsors sometimes create additional concerns. Now let's discuss invitation letters. People often obsess over invitation letters, but invitation letters alone rarely determine approvals. A weak applicant with a perfect invitation letter can still be refused easily. Your overall credibility matters far more. Now let's talk about one of the biggest refusal reasons in U.S. visitor visas. Section 214B refusals. This happens when the officer is not convinced the applicant qualifies as a genuine temporary visitor. And here is something important. 214B refusals are extremely common globally. Many applicants panic and think their immigration future is over. Not necessarily. A refusal does not permanently destroy your future chances, but reapplying immediately without changing the weaknesses in your application usually leads to another refusal. Now let's discuss some of the biggest mistakes applicants make. Number one is fake documents. This is catastrophic. Fake bank statements, fake employment letters, fake tax records, fake business records. Never do this. One fraud finding can damage future immigration opportunities globally. Number two is inconsistent information. Your DS-160, your interview answers, your bank statements, your travel plans. Everything must align naturally. Number three is unrealistic travel plans. If your planned trip does not match your financial situation or lifestyle, questions arise immediately. Number four is weak financial credibility. Sudden unexplained deposits, temporary balances, inconsistent income. These create major red flags. Number five is poor interview behavior, over-explaining, arguing, memorized robotic answers, contradictions. These can seriously hurt your case. Now here's a major psychological insight. U.S. consular officers interview thousands of applicants every year. They become extremely skilled at identifying patterns very quickly. Your goal is not to impress them. Your goal is to appear genuine, stable, organized, and truthful. That is what successful applications usually look like. Now let's discuss social media. The United States visa process increasingly collects social media-related information from applicants. And here is something important. Your public online image should not massively contradict your application story. Consistency matters everywhere. Now, let's discuss interview waivers. Historically, many applicants qualified for interview waiver renewals, but the rules became significantly stricter in late 2025 and into 2026. In many cases now, applicants renewing B1, B2 visas generally qualify for interview waivers only if the previous visa expired within a relatively short recent period and other eligibility conditions are met. And even eligible applicants can still be called for interviews. Now let's discuss something extremely important. A visa approval does not guarantee entry into the United States. Even after visa approval, Customs and Border Protection officers at the airport still decide whether to admit travelers into the country. Most genuine tourists experience no problems, but preparation matters. Carry copies of your hotel bookings, return ticket, travel plans, and supporting documents while traveling. Now let's discuss visa validity versus allowed stay. This confuses huge numbers of travelers. Your visa validity period is not the same as the length of stay allowed in the United States. The border officer normally determines how long you may stay during each visit. Many visitors receive up to 6 months per entry, but this can vary. Now let's discuss one major mistake that destroys credibility. Using tourist visas for hidden immigration intentions. The U.S. visitor visa is for temporary visits, not secret relocation plans, not unauthorized work, not long-term living. Misusing visitor status can seriously damage future immigration opportunities. Now let's discuss practical approval strategies experienced travelers often follow. Apply early. Complete the DS-160 carefully. Keep documents organized. Maintain stable financial activity before applying. Use realistic travel plans. Avoid fake documents completely. Answer interview questions honestly and directly, and never assume approval is automatic. Now let's answer some common questions people ask. Can unemployed applicants get approved? Sometimes yes, especially with strong sponsors and genuine circumstances. Can freelancers apply? Absolutely, but freelancers should demonstrate stable professional activity and income consistency. Can students apply? Yes, but students often need strong sponsorship and proof of ongoing education commitments. Can previous visa refusals affect future U.S. applications? Yes, but previous refusals do not automatically destroy your chances if you later present a stronger and more credible application. Can you work in the United States on a tourist visa? Generally, no. Unauthorized employment can create serious immigration consequences. Can tourists extend their stay? Sometimes extensions may be requested in limited circumstances, but visitor visas should never be treated like long-term residence options. And finally, here is the biggest truth about U.S. tourist visa approvals. Most successful applications are actually very ordinary, not flashy, not dramatic, not perfect, just believable. A genuine traveler with realistic plans, stable finances, clear documentation, and strong reasons to return home. That combination wins approvals again and again. So if visiting the United States is part of your dream travel plans for 2026, start preparing early, stay organized, and focus on credibility over perfection. Because one honest and well-prepared application is far more powerful than a thick folder full of random paperwork, and you have come to the right place to get all your visa applications sorted in a hassle-free and professional manner. We can help you to get the entire process done correctly and make your dream trip to any destination in the world easier than you think. Make sure to get in touch with us on our WhatsApp mobile numbers, no matter which part of the world you are in, and do subscribe, like, and share our channel to get many more interesting updates. Thank you for watching and have a safe journey. Call us now on +64 221 786 007 or +91 73786 00791.